Hey guys, F1most26 here. Welcome to highlights of AOR Season 12, Round 2 in Bahrain. And apologies for being about 7 years late with the upload and being such a crap YouTuber. I swear I say that at the start of every video, but apologies once again. So, the reason there are no Australia highlights was because I disconnected on the loading screen to qualifying, and because the AOR decided that they would run the lobby on invite only, I could not rejoin, so thanks for that. So we currently have no points, obviously, because I couldn't rejoin, and we're now looking to repair any damage done in Australia here at Bahrain, which is not one of my preferred tracks, but hopefully if we can get on a good qualifying lap, then we should be able to get up in the top 5, as you can see going purple through sector 1 there. It's been quite a good lap so far as we come towards the difficult turn 9, I want to say, probably turn 8 actually, because this is turn 9 and 10. As we break down, very difficult, very easy to lock up. We do slightly, but we manage to catch the car, getting on the power nice and early, opening the DRS now down the back straight as we head towards this difficult left-hander. I choose to go down to 3rd to get the car turned in. Some people will take it in 4th. I'll rev out the engine in 3rd to minimise the back end loss on the exit. Flat out through this right-hander, even though the racing line seems to think that I need to brake, which I clearly don't in qualifying. And we missed the apex for there slightly, but we still managed to get on the power reasonably nicely. As you can see, we're sitting in P8 at the moment, so it's crucial that we get this lap in so that we're not in the midfield and the explosion zone. Coming into the final corner now, taking quite a lot of curb, but we've managed to use that nicely to get a good exit and avoid the exit curb. As we head up towards the line now, there's going to be a 130.7 to put a second on the grid there, or 0.8 sorry, and as you can see, it's scored, got pole with myself in 2nd, Riley Boys in 3rd, AOR Big C in 4th, with Surprise Matt only in 5th surprisingly, and Midget in 6th, Urban's Octane in 7th. There's the full grid. Now it's time for the race. Then here we are on the grid, and the game is telling us that that is the strategy, super soft, medium soft, which I agree with. So well done Codemasters, you've given me the correct strategy for once. That's just going to adjust the pit laps slightly there. I'm not sure what lap to go with, 18 or 19. We'll probably decide it on the fly. As now just going to skip to the end of the formation lap because nothing happened. And as you can see, AOR Raikkonen has unfortunately disconnected, and obviously because we're running invite only, he can't rejoin. So that's a bit of a shame for him, but that's one less person that we have to beat, which is obviously going to make our lives a lot more easier as we now pull up onto the grid behind It's Scored to start round 2 of AOR Season 12 here at Bahrain. So as mentioned, we've got Riley Boys and AOR Big C behind us, who is Pro Big C 96 from last season. So looking at the race director to see what tyres everyone's going on, there's a couple of people on the mediums there, so that could throw a bit of interesting stuff into the strategy. But we have the lights now for round 2 of AOR Season 12. It's 5 lights, and it's lights out, and away we go. Quite a long hold, and lots of wheel spin for It's Scored from pole positions, but he's got a fantastic start despite that. And we are now getting into the slipstream as we head down towards turn 1. Can we get the car stopped? Yes, we can. We have proximity arrows galore, and I was hoping that no one's going to bedhead Ned me and destroy my race at turn 1. Luckily, we've got away with that. I think there was a bit of an incident at the back, as you can see on the track map, but we're okay as we now head down towards turn 4, I want to say, still keeping with Gord, and my strategy here is just going to be to follow Gord round. I'm not going to try anything stupid until the DRS window. I think we are on quite similar pace, as he's very good in quali, but I'd like to say based on last week, where he got pole by quite a bit, but couldn't convert it into race pace. So hopefully it'll be the same this week, and his tyre wear won't be particularly good, although having said that, my tyre wear wasn't fantastic in practice races, but we'll roll with it and see what we can do, as he's starting to get away already. But as mentioned in previous videos, I'm not the best person on the first lap in league racing, so if we manage to maintain position in front of Riley Boys, I will be very happy, and we can just continue on from there and build our confidence and hopefully catch up and pass It's Scored at some point and kickstart our championship campaign here in Bahrain, where of course we did win last season in season 11. We also won at Australia, but obviously we couldn't defend our victory and make it 2 seasons in a row, as we now head down towards the final corner, getting on the power nicely there. Not too much wheel spin as we finish the first lap there. No pressure really from Riley Boys behind, so it's all nice and calm as we actually set a purple last sector there, so that's pretty good stuff as we head down towards turn 1. We appear to have quite a lot of straight line speed over it scored, although that might just be due to the OP slipstream that is on this game. But yeah, it's good stuff as we head through turn 2, as Surprise Mare's actually making a move on Riley Boys now, so hopefully that can get us a gap, but we do know Surprise Mare is very quick on this game. Now, skipping to the end of lap 3, we haven't been able to do much yet, but now DRS is of course enabled as we set our personal best there, which is quite impressive considering these option tyres are quite old now, as we're going to have a look up the inside of It Scored into turn 1. Good respectful racing there. He leaves us the room. Can we hang around the outside? I don't think we can. No, we can't, but we're going to try and go for the switch back through turn 2, but we've got caught up on the curb there, and that has minimised our exit speed. There's been contact in the back between Riley Boys and Surprise Men. The yellow flag came out, and you could see on the mini-map that they're recovering. We have a look around the outside of It Scored into turn 4, but nothing doing there as we maintain second place for the moment. But yeah, it looks like we do have superior, if not very similar pace to him, so if we can force him into a mistake, hopefully we can be able to get past him, but we just need to be looking after the tyres at this moment. Tyre wear is key around this track, and I expect a couple of people will get punctures as we head down into turn 10. Flipping the apex nicely, but he seems to have very good traction. Maybe he's got his car set up for traction. Now, lap 5, he's actually coming into the pit, so we need to make this lap count, which is going to be very difficult to do with such old options, but it is going to benefit us at the end of the next stint. So, end of lap 6, it's been an alright lap. We haven't got a puncture, which is good, and we're going to come into the pit lane. Now, slowing it down, easy below 50 miles an hour. I know! What have we done? We've got a penalty, as you can see my hand slamming the wheel there, you can probably hear it as well, and we have been a complete retard. We've slowed it down and we've sped up, and we've gone 51 miles an hour into the pit lane. We've got a penalty, and that has completely ruined our race, purely due to the fact that I am a complete retard. So yeah, that is much less than optimal as we get the medium tyres on. Surprise me, set the fastest lap. I couldn't care less where he is, because we're going to be behind him once we serve our drive-through. We're actually in front of him at the moment, so even obviously his spin has cost him quite a lot. It Scored is miles ahead, and that doesn't matter either, because we're going to lose about 13 seconds because we've got a drive-through. So that is obviously 100% my fault, because I'm a retard. But what this game is really missing is a pit limiter, because slowing down for the line is just annoying. It should be like F1 2010, where you can slow down before the line, slam on the pit limiter, and then rev it out, which is going to be slower than slowing down optimally before the line, but safer. So that's my opinion, but obviously there's no pit limiter, but hopefully Codemasters can put that in. It Scored sets the fastest lap at the end of lap 7, but we're coming into the pits. Let's not speed in again. If we do, I may consider rage bar. I wouldn't rage quit, but I would be throwing everything out of the window that I own. But yeah, coming into the pits, where we're going to end up probably about last. So that's obviously, we now need to regroup. We've made a mistake, which is obviously our fault, but it's still annoying even if it was our fault. But we're in 15th at the moment, so we're going to have a lot of traffic to come through as Clippers Jack goes around the outside. We're going to try and defend that. He's on the softs, and he actually manages to hook it around the outside there, so that's a good move for him, but we're going to try and come straight back at him. We're not going to take any prisoners now. We are going to have to go all out until the end of the race, as there's a yellow flag ahead. Someone has clearly blown up, and we can't quite defend from... can't quite get the move done on Clippers there. But yeah, we're going to be having a look at every opportunity, maybe even into this corner. No, we think better of it, but he's not gone. He's actually taken all right line through there, but we should easily get him on the DRS, especially if he doesn't have DRS from the cars ahead, which I don't think he will just about. I think that's actually Midget in front, who's also not having a good race. But yeah, getting on the power now, getting on the rich mix, on the DRS. Surely we can get past him now into this left-hander. He's going defensive. Are we? Surely not. We're going to hook it up around the outside. We can't quite do that. We're going for the cutback once again, but all the time we're losing time whilst we're battling for him. But the cutback seems to have worked. We're going to hang it around the outside of this fast right-hander, and what a move, if I do say so myself. We actually passed Jack around the outside on that right-hander, and we are now back up into P15. Yay, fantastic. 0 more points than being in P16. But I still feel points are on the cards. Obviously, I had some good pace, as you saw. I was just as quick as Gord in the first stint. So we're not too far away from points, as you can see from the mini-map. And obviously, lots of people still have to make their stop, as someone is in the pits there to prove my point. And there might be another car in the pits as well. which indeed there was. So we're now up into P13, which is even better than P15, as we're now on the back of the Mighty Midget, who you may remember from last season if you were watching my videos then, which you probably won't because I've got a lot of new subscribers since then. But anyway, on the back of the Mighty Midget now, as we head through left-hander up towards Sector 3, Coldhead's currently leading. I think he's actually going for a one-stop, which is very aggressive, and hats off to him if he can pull that off. But yeah, behind the Mighty Midget now, we appear to have better pace than him, which is nice. But we need to get past him quickly as we do a little flick to the right, just to let him know we're there. We're going to be pressurising him now as we head down into the right-hander of the final corner, mounting the curb there, but we both did that, so we haven't lost too much time as we're now going to be in the slipstream on the DRS now as we head down the pit straight, and we're going to pull out past him up into P12. Brilliant. And next up is New Line Dast in the Haas, as we've actually gone really deep into turn 1, so that's going to allow Midget a chance to get the position back, but we park it on the apex for turn 2, and that chance is no longer there. So lap 12 coming on to lap 13, we're behind New Line Dast as someone else is in the pit, so we're up into P10. Someone else must have pitted another lap because I'm pretty sure we were only in P12 when we passed Midget, but whatever, we'll roll with that. We've got up into the points, and Big C and Dast have made contact, and they're spinning out, and as you can see as we look behind, they have collected each other. Luckily they didn't hit the wall, but there's 2 free positions for us without actually having to overtake anyone, and I can confirm that was actually a lag incident on Dast's screen. He got hit by Big Z. On Big Z's screen, Dast hit him, so yeah, that's sometimes how these things roll, and I'm going to take that very nicely as we're now up to 8th. But we now have Taylor Devol behind us as we skip to the end of lap 13, and here's on the super soft, so I suspect he's going for a 3-stop, and we need to make sure that we get past him now. And no, that we keep him behind. What am I doing? You can tell how long it's been since I did a commentary because I'm absolutely horrendous at it. But anyway, coming into turn 1, Taylor having a look up the inside, also someone else who you might remember from last season, maybe my move round the outside of the final chicane at Silverstone to take a podium from him. But he is now looking very strong on the back of us. He's going to surely be able to hang it around the outside here with the much superior tyres. We're going to try it up the inside, but obviously the superior tyres, the superior grip, has allowed him to get around the outside there, and there's no point in fighting that because he has 2 stops to make now, and I only have 1. So we'll let him go for the time being, but now on lap 15 we're stuck with him, and that's because he's actually caught up to my teammate who's still out on mediums, which he started the race. Camindos, that's the fastest lap, he is somewhere behind us. But yeah, Taylor's managed to get past my teammate, and if we could ask our teammate to do a nice switcheroo now, as we're on different strategies, that'd be lovely, although Jordan does not appear to want to get out of the way, which is fair enough. He's battling for position. We both have 1 stop to make, but he is on 15 lap old mediums, which he's done a very good job to take these as far as he clouts the curb there. That's going to give him a poor exit, and we get the move done. We've also got Surprise Mare, who's also pit at some point for his 3-stop, and he is now just behind us again. So we're still battling with Surprise Mare here, so this could give us a shout at a very good result if his pace is decent. I suspect he's probably battling for a podium, so if we can work with him, maybe we can get back up into contention for the top 5, which we're effectively in because we're in a net P6 at the moment, which is actually pretty impressive in my opinion, considering that we were in P16 at one point. But yeah, we need to keep Surprise Mare behind us for as long as possible, but that's not going to be easy. He's on much fresher soft tyres, and we're on quite worn mediums as Taylor decides to bail out of that and go into the pits, I believe, which is lovely because that means we're going to get DRS, but we're not going to get the slipstream. Can we defend from Surprise Mare? I suspect not. My teammate is in the pit, so Jordan has now come in for a set of softs, which he's going to take to the end. That's quite optimistic. We'll see if we can do it as we're trying to hang it around the outside of Surprise Mare there, which we do, and we manage to keep that position for the moment. We've got Urban's Octane in front of us, but we're not looking at him at the moment. We're looking at Surprise Mare behind us. We're now heading up the inside into turn 4. We're going to try and hang this around the outside. I don't think we'll have the grip, but no, he backs out behind us, so we clearly have the defensive skills at the moment to keep Surprise Mare behind us, which is lovely because we are in effect battling for position at the moment. So if we can keep this up, then we should be able to hold him up for the remainder of our stint, which is only going to be a couple of laps now as we're on lap 16, but the tyre wear is going to get a lot worse for us. I think we're already on a quite high percentage due to the fact that we've had to push a lot to get back into this position from where we were in P16, but still defending. He couldn't do anything on that DRS straight, so it's looking quite positive for us. Maybe he's running quite high wings or something, which is obviously quite possible because there are a lot of corners around this track. Well done, James. Really good commentating there. But yeah, although there are some quite long straights. Although I think I'm running 7.6 wings. But anyway, looking into the final corner, he's up the inside of us now, and he's managed to get that move done quite nicely. But we're going to be ducking back into the slipstream. I think he will have DRS because he passed us after the DRS line. But now with the DRS, he's pulling away from us. So we're going to have to get back in the slipstream. Can we go around the outside of turn 1? We've been quite good on the brakes into turn 1, as you can see now. Closing up quite a lot, but he manages to defend it inside there, and I think we can say goodbye to Surprise Mare until the next stint. So, skipping on to lap 18 now, we can see some more explosions have occurred as It's Gord has come out of the pit lane and Surprise Mare has decided that he wants to visit Qatar on the exit of turn 1. So he has come back from his visit to Qatar and has unfortunately for him lost a place for us, to us. So we're now up into P6 again. And I think we'll be pitting this lap mainly due to the fact that our tyres will probably blow up if we stay out. So we need to pit this lap, which means it's going to be quite a tough task to take the softs till the end, especially if we're going to be pushing and battling. But now we've got Clippers Jack in front of us who's getting lapped. So it wasn't too long ago that we were battling him, so I suspect he's had a puncture. But now coming down into this double left-hander, Surprise Mare going for a move up the inside. What a move from him as he's managed to get that stopped, and he's got the DRS as well. So we need to have a slow-mo replay of this just to see how close it was over the DRS line. As you can see, we were literally equal as we went across the DRS line. So now coming into the pit lane for our second stop, this time not royally bottling it and speeding in. So that's good news, and we're going to go for softs, mainly because of the fact that we don't have any other tyres, because we went for the... I don't know what strategy we went for, but I don't think we went for the harder strategy, I'll say that much. But yeah, out of the pit lane, good stop from the Renault boys. Varzak in front of us, who started right at the back, if you remember. Has gone on to mediums, which I think we would have done if we had the mediums, considering our tyre wear in the middle stint. Excuse me. But we're now down to P9, I think, behind Calmundo, but they have to pit, and then we have Taylor behind us, who's actually an AI because he's disconnected. So now at the end of lap 19, Calmundo is in the pit lane. We're going to jump in front of him. Urban's Octane is also in the pit lane, so this is going to be a test to see if our undercut has worked. And we're not going to get past him, but we are a lot closer than we were before. So anyone who stayed out some more laps, we might be able to undercut. So now, end of lap 20, Surprise Mare is in the pit lane. Are we going to be able to jump him? His pace was probably good as we set a personal best for the race. His pace was probably good on those soft tyres. But was it good enough as we head down into turn 1 now? Yes, it just about was, as he just manages to get it stopped in front of us there, and he's very lucky that we didn't get past him there, because I think we could have defended. Urban's Octane sets the fastest lap of the race, so they're clearly having a battle in front as Genius is in the pits at the end of lap 21 for a set of super softs. That's a very, very aggressive strategy, if I do say so myself. But we managed to get it stopped for turn 1 once again, and we remained in 7th. End of lap 23, we've lost Urban's Octane and Surprise Mare completely. They were way too quick, but Stubborn Gymnast is in the pit lane. He's bailed out of what I think was a one-stop, and he's gone super soft now. But as you can see in front of us, still battling, and Surprise Mare has now got past Urban's Octane, and in front you can see Varzak. So this is actually a battle for a podium now, and as you can see, lap 25, we've caught up to this battle. Surprise Mare's gone, he's taken his 3rd place, but Varzak is doing a fantastic job for us of holding up Urban's. So as we now head down into the final corner, clipping the apex nicely, on the power nicely, a bit of back end loss, Urban's has the same. Can we get the move done into turn 1? We're quite close, but not close enough. He also has the DRS, he's more looking at Varzak than he's looking at us. As Varzak's putting him in the wall, Michael Schumacher style there, as we're going to have a look into turn 1, very late on the brakes, round the outside, into turn 1, surely not, on the power, nice and early, and we get the move done there. A fantastic move if I do say so myself, but we're not done there. Urbans is having a look back on the slipstream up towards turn 4 as we head down there now, but we managed to brake later once again and we keep the position. But it's going to be very crucial now that we can get in the DRS of Varzak and possibly pass him, because I think Urbans is quicker than us without the fact that he is being held up by Varzak, which we could obviously see by the fact that he was pulling away a lot. Obviously, if you remember, Varzak on the medium tyres from when we pitted on the same lap, so his tyre wear should be better, but at the moment I think these tyres are still the best ones to be on. It's not going to be until the last 2 laps where they're going to start ridiculously blowing up, well, hopefully not blowing up, but losing a lot of traction and grip. But we still got DRS, which means Urbans can't pass us at the moment as we head down into this left-hander. We're not quite close enough, but hopefully we can close that up and maybe have a look into turn 1. We'll have to see then as we head through this fast right. To start the final sector, Gord is now back in the lead of the race, and he should be taking home this win, but you never know, he could make a mistake, he could get a puncture, anything can happen on this game. As we're now looking into the final corner, we appear to have dropped back from Varzak, and Urbans is quite close, so we need to make sure that we're within the DRS, which I think we might just about be as we head round the final corner to start lap 27. Yes, we are in the DRS, that is crucial now. As you can see, our lap times are not particularly great, but we're just focusing on making sure we keep this 5th or maybe get 4th. We're very late on the brakes once again, closing up to Urbans, but to Varzak, sorry. Urbans is still there behind us, so this is a very big battle, especially with Gymnast closing rapidly on the super soft tyres. So then skipping later on to lap 27, we're right behind Varzak now as we head down the back straight in the DRS. In the slipstream, we do a little flick to the left there, see if we can put him off, and he's braked quite early there, so we may still have a chance as we head through the final sector now, coming up through the fast right-hander again. Urbans is still there, so this is not over yet in terms of keeping 5th. It could very well become 6th or easily 7th, as mentioned, with Gymnast, who's not far behind now. Anyway, on the back of Varzak as we head down towards the final corner, he appears to get very good traction out of the penultimate corner, which means we can't really do anything as we head out the final corner. Not the greatest exit, and look at the traction that he gets, that's ridiculous. As we now head towards turn 1 on the DRS, maybe it's the medium tyres which are giving him the better traction, I don't know. As we head towards turn 1, we're going to close up quite a lot, I reckon, but not going to be close enough to get a move. But another proximity arrow appears out of nowhere. Stubborn Gymnast comes up to take P6 away from Urbans there, which means that we're now battling with Gymnast more than we're battling with Varzak. We have not utilised our opportunities enough to get past Varzak, and now we have to worry about this very fast Force India on the super soft tyres. He has a look into there, but he backs out of that sensibly as he was not far enough alongside. As we now head through this left-hander, not great through there. He has carried some great pace. He's up the inside, he's dive bombed us, and yeah, well then, I'm not particularly sure about that move, to be honest. I think he forced us off the track. Leave your comments below on what you think of that move, as we now also lost a place to Urbans because of that move, so I'm not particularly happy with that, as we now need to focus on conserving these tyres. The tyre wear is critical, and we need to make sure we get to the end without a puncture, which would be absolutely disastrous, which would mean 0 points from 2 races pretty much. So coming through the final sector now, and we just backed off, but now as you can see coming through the middle sector, we've got 95% on our rear left, and now it's gone. We have a puncture here, and we have more than half a lap to go to get round here, and I suspect that it's going to be nothing for us then. No points for us as it's very slow with the puncture. Genius is 7 seconds behind, but I suspect we will lose that position very quickly. As you can see, we're travelling extremely slowly as we head down to the double left. We chuck it in, we cut the corner. Really good warning there. Well done, game. As we now spin the car back around, we've lost a position to Genius. We're down to 8th already. Next up behind us is Calmundo as we take out the DRS board there. As we do, Calmundo will probably pass us as well, and then I think it's Nillis Lukens in 10th who will demote us towards the final points paying position as we now crawl down this back straight. There's Nillis Lukens coming up behind us. He goes past, we cut the corner to get out of the way, and fantastic, we get a penalty there, so really good stuff. So we're still in a points paying position. We've got Big Z next up behind us, but I suspect we'll lose that position as well quite quickly, as yes we do. We're very dangerous here. Jordan goes through there, our teammate. He's in 11th on his one stop, so he's done a very good job there. But it's not going to be any points for the Renault team. We've got Midget behind us now, who we almost blow up there. The next up is someone, not sure who that was. And Smithy City goes through there, as does Jordan K. So, yeah, that's lovely, and someone else. So we're now in 17th, and Taylor is behind us, and then there's a lapped car. So we're going to finish 17th in this race. That's fantastic as we come around the final corner now. Very slowly as we head towards the finish line. Jordan's had penalties, so he's been relegated to 18th, so it's going to be no points from 2 races for the Renault team as we do a fantastic finish to show our lack of happiness from this race. 17th place, no points, and pretty much last in the championship here in AOR. So looking at the race results now, you can see It's Gord took the win from Coldhead on a 1-stop, with Surprise Met in 3rd, Opens Octane in 4th, Varzak only 5th with the penalties, and Stubborn Gymnast only 6th. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you for my next video whenever that is, and sorry for being rubbish with the uploads again, but it's bye for now.